Hello friends, in today's data-driven world, CEOs are often overwhelmed by the metrics, KPIs and the real-time analytics. But as Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 verse 46 teaches us, data is only a small well, whereas the true wisdom lies in the infinite ocean. Therefore, in this video, we will dive deep into the significance of this powerful shloka for the modern business leader. We will explore why a knower of absolute truth can navigate market volatility better than anybody else. Let's go. Close your eyes for a second and imagine your typical Monday morning. You're looking at a dashboard. There are real-time sales figures, churn rates, overhead cost, and market sentiment analysis. You have more data at your fingertip than any CEOs in human history. But let me ask you, does that data tells you how to handle a disgruntled co-founder? Does it tell you whether to pivot your entire company culture during a global crisis? Does it give you the courage to make a decision that looks bad on a spreadsheet today but saves the company 10 years from now? Most leaders are drowning in the small well of data, while a vast lake of wisdom sits right next to them, untouched. Today we are looking at 7,000-year-old secret for the modern executive found in Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 verse 46. And the quote starts, in the second chapter of Gita, Krishna says something revolutionary to the warrior-led Arjun, and he says, just as the big lake can minimize the importance of the small well, so does the knower of absolute truth proficient in scripture serves better than the Vedas. So let's translate that into the CEO speak. In ancient India, Vedas were the ultimate manual. They were the rules and the rituals, the how-to guide for every specific situation. Krishna is telling Arjun, if you have a massive lake, a reservoir of absolute truth, you don't need to run to 50 different tiny wells to quench your thirst. The lake contains the well and then some more. For a CEO, the small wells are your KPIs, your industry reports, and your SOPs. They are useful, yes, but they are fragmented. If you only lead by the well, you are forever running for one data point to another, trying to piece together a map that is constantly changing. Why isn't data enough? Because data is hindsight. Data tells you what happened. Even predictive analytics is just a sophisticated guess based on the past. But as a CEO, you aren't living in the past. You are responsible for the unseen future. When a leader relies solely on data, they become reactive. They manage by the numbers, but they fail to lead the people. This verse teaches us that the knower of truth, what we might call the wise leader, doesn't ignore the data, but they aren't enslaved by it. Think of a small well. It has a limit. If there is a drought, the well runs dry. If your business model is based only on a specific set of data points and the market shift, which is within quote a drought, you are left with nothing. But the big lake, the deep wisdom, is fed by the underground springs. It is resilient, it is deep, it is holistic. So how does a CEO move from the well to the lake? It comes down to three shifts in the mindset. Number one, context over content. Data is content. Wisdom is context. A well leader sees 10% drop in productivity and orders a crackdown. A lake leader sees the same 10% and understands the underlying culture fatigue or the shift in industry morale. They see the absolute truth of the situation, not just the symptom. Second, principle over tactics. The Vedas in this context represent the specific rituals or tactics, but the knower of truth relies on universal principles. When you lead by core values, integrity, detachment, from results and service. You don't need a manual for every crisis. Your lake of principles automatically answers the question. Third, the mindset, which Bhagwan Krishna says overflowing water. The verse uses the word, for the overflowing water in Sanskrit, meaning a place where water is overflowing from all sides. When you have a deep wisdom, your decisions aren't forced, they flow. You aren't digging for an answer. The answer is already present in your understanding of the market, your people, and yourself. This isn't just a philosophy, it's a competitive advantage. The best CEOs in the world, the ones who stays at the top for decades, share this quality. They have a stillness while everyone else is panicking because their well is running dry. The wise leader is looking at the horizon from the shore of their lake. So, how do you cultivate this? Step 1: spend 10% less time on dashboards and 10% more time on first principle of thinking. Step 2: study the scriptures of your industry, but seek the absolute truth of the human nature. Practice detachment. Verse 2.46 follows the famous lesson on Karma Yoga, doing your duty without obsessed about the fruits. When you aren't desperate for water in the well, you finally have the clarity to see the ocean. Data will give you a career, wisdom will give you a legacy. Don't spend time, your life digging tiny wells. Start building your reservoirs. If you found this breakdown of the Gita's leadership lessons helpful, hit the subscribe button and join our community of the purpose driven leaders. Question for the comments: what is the small well, a matrix or a rule that you have been relying on too much lately? Let's discuss and send your comments in the comment section below. And I would like to see you next deep dive, and therefore please subscribe to our channel so that you can come back and join us live on our shows. See you in the next one.